when it's storming, I won't let go. I won't let go of you. And when the rain is pouring, when it's coming down, I won't let go. I'll be right here. And when it's crazy, crazy, it's crazy, crazy, let go. I won't let go of this till the day I close my eyes forever. I'll be yours no matter the weather. I've spent my whole life trying to find you.
Hello everyone.
What's up?
Welcome back to the RL family. We're the best party. It's the place to be.
RL family.
Something. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. Today we're gonna be coming to you with another video, and this video is not really stop. This video is not really exciting or anything. We're gonna tell you about our experience. So yeah, we just wanted to come on here and let you guys know. We'll tell you guys about our experience that we had recently. I had a blighted ovum. It's a type of miscarriage that I had. Tuesday, May 7th is when I went to the emergency room because I wanted to make sure everything was okay. From the last date of my period, I was supposed to be 11 weeks. And so, maybe in 11 weeks. So, I wanted to go and make sure everything was okay because I was bleeding a little bit and I had some brown discharge. So, and you know, with my other pregnancies, I never experienced anything like that before. So, you know, I wanted to make sure everything was okay. And when we went to the emergency room, you know, they checked my levels and everything. They did a ultrasound on me, and when we did after all of that, the lady finally came in there with the results, and she told me that my levels, you know, they were good and that I was definitely pregnant. But she was like, they're not high enough to be 11 weeks. She was like, are you sure that you're not earlier than that? And I'm looking at her like, well, if it goes off your last period, I'm 11 weeks. So in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not no earlier than that. I'm 11 weeks. So then she's like, well, the ultrasound, not good. And basically she just said that they didn't see anything in there at all. From, you know, her words. That's what I got, that she didn't see anything in there. What about you? Like, what did you get from what she said? Because I basically told my part of what I got, and what I got was they didn't see anything in there. And I'm thinking, like, how is that possible that you don't see anything in there? Because I haven't had a period for 2 months. Yeah, it was 2 months. I haven't had a period for 2 months. And I'm like, okay. I took pregnancy tests and said I was pregnant. Like, what's going on? What you mean you don't see nothing? So, yeah. What'd you get from what she said?
Well, when we went to the sonogram, obviously we have 2 kids, so I know what a baby looks like. And I didn't see it. Now, granted, I also don't feel like, or I definitely didn't feel like that they knew what they were doing. But that's a story for another time. But when they, and I would ask, like, can you guys tell us anything? They're like, no, we can't tell you anything. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, like I said, I didn't see anything. I know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything. So we went back and they were like, well, it's not good. They didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Maybe, she's earlier than what, maybe she's earlier than 11 weeks. Okay, cool. Sounds good. We go home.
But the crazy thing is, if that's the case, what it makes sense to me either is, if I was earlier than that, like if I was 8 weeks or 7 weeks, they still should have seen something in there. Like, something. So, that didn't make sense to me either. So, yeah.
And so we went home. We were trying to be positive about everything. Knowing that, not really knowing anything really other than what they told us, and not really feeling like they knew exactly what they were doing. It was uncomfortable. It was weird being young as we look and as young as we are. A lot of times they don't talk to us the way they would if we were older or whatever. They didn't assume, so it's kind of funny, but not really. They kept asking me like if I wanted to stay in the room, or like they're getting ready to check her lady parts or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. You shouldn't expect people. You should not assume everybody knows everything. That's silly. It makes sense to me that I am the husband. She had rings on. I had a ring on. But people, again, we look younger than what we are. We've been told.
We do though. We can. I don't get the mirror and say that.
And so again, it was a weird experience to go there. We've had another miscarriage early on before our first daughter, and it was the same way, but we were younger. We were 19, and we had just turned 19. It was, I want to say, it was July 5th, I want to say. It was like right after, the 4th of July, which is July 5th. And like, just having to go through that again, like, I don't know.
This time
Hospitals, they just don't, I don't know. And then when we had Azaria, or when we were getting ready to go back for the sonogram, when we knew she was pregnant, she was like 4 months pregnant. They asked if I wanted to. No, they didn't ask. They basically was like, "Oh, you can't come back here." Like, why not? Oh, well, then they asked her, "Well, do you want him back here?" So you're gonna let my mom? My mom was also with us. So you're gonna let my mom go, but you're not gonna let me go, which again, I'm glad she was there. So if you see this, Mama, thank you. But anyway, back to the story at hand. So, needless to say, being young, going to the hospital, people don't tell you everything. They don't tell you everything. You gotta do some extra digging and all of that.
And
so
talk a certain way
yeah,
to get the information that you need or that you want. You gotta make sure you word it a certain way.
Yeah.
So you're not getting nothing.
No. So we got home. You know, we didn't know exactly what to think. So the next morning, well, no, before that, like Shauna said, she had, you know, like clots or whatever, brown discharge or whatever.
It was just discharge.
And she was saying, no, you called me and told me I'm kind of bleeding. It's not a whole lot. So we were going to go to the ER, but I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. But I'm like, well, no, let's just wait, make sure everything is cool. Well, the next morning, I was actually on Facebook, and there was a friend of mine who was 10 weeks, and they went for the sonogram, and they didn't see the baby's heartbeat.
So sad.
And so I decided, hey, we need to go, because we just need to make sure everything is cool. We were alarmed a little bit. We just need to make sure everything was cool. So fast forward to coming back home after getting the news that we didn't see a baby. Okay, well, now they also told her to come back, you know, in 2 days, was it?
Yeah, the lady.
2 days for blood work.
Right, that was, before we left, you know, after she slammed us with the bad news, she was like, well, we want to make sure that you get seen by somebody that specializes in babies. And so, you know, she made sure I was going to get checked as soon as possible. And so, 2 days from the hospital visit, I went to the clinic to, you know, see somebody that specialized in babies and actually knew what they were doing and could tell me more than, you know, they were telling me. And so, but that morning, I was, you know, getting dressed and everything. I was getting my daughters ready and getting ready to take my daughter downstairs to, you know, get her on the bus. And I'm hanging up my towel and everything, and like all of a sudden I feel my body like tighten up, like my stomach tightened up, and then it, you know, it changed. Like I don't really know how to, you know, describe it, because it was, you know, weird, and I never experienced it before. But my stomach tightened up, and it was almost like a release. And then I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, blood just starts flowing all down my leg. I was like, what in the world? Like, I never experienced this. So I'm like, this can't be good. But, you know, I wasn't really stressing out because of the visit at the hospital. You know, they said they didn't see anything. So I'm just like, okay, what can be worse than that? So I'm like, okay. Well, I have an appointment in like about an hour or so I can just see what's going on, you know, then. So I'm just, you know, sitting and everything until I can, you know, until it's time for me to go to my appointment. And so eventually I go to my appointment and get, you know, blood work done and everything. Then I head up to my appointment. And so they do a vaginal ultrasound on me, you know, to, re-look at stuff and see what's going on in there. And of course, the lady couldn't talk or say anything either. And so I get that done. Then she takes me to another room to where I'm gonna be seeing the doctor that I was supposed to see. And he comes in and he has the computer with the ultrasound pictures and everything. And he was like, well, as soon as he comes in, well, if you're not miscarrying now, you're going to miscarry. And when he said that, I was just like, okay. Just like, okay, what can I do? And so then he says, what we call, what you have going on right now, we call it a blighted ovum. And that's a type of miscarriage. And he shows us the ultrasound pictures or whatever. And like when he shows it, I can actually see stuff in there, like this time. Like when they was doing it, I didn't see any.
Because they didn't know what they were doing.
I didn't see any of that.
But again, we're not. They didn't know what they were doing. But again, that's a video for another time.
Yeah. And so he's like, well.
Also, I wasn't there. I was at work.
Yeah,
my mom went with her again.
Yeah, thanks.
Again, shout out to my mom.
Yeah, it was truly a blessing to have her there because I did not know any of this was going to happen. So I'm so grateful to have her, and she's always been supportive and been there for us, or all of our kids really, So grateful to have her, if you're watching. And so, he shows us ultrasounds or whatever and tells me, what's gonna happen and what kind of miscarriage I have. Well, what type of miscarriage I'm going to experience, because I didn't feel anything going on then. Like, I wasn't in pain or anything, and I'm like, I know what a miscarriage feels like. So I'm like, okay. And so he, explaining the ultrasound and everything. And he's like, basically, it's just tissue. Like, you could see it too. It's just tissue and everything together. Like, it wasn't a hole anymore. It was just like, almost like, sad to say, but like when you chop a meat, it was just different pieces everywhere. That's what it looked like. Just trying to look like it was headed down. And it was. Because, then he was like, okay, I'm going to check you again. And he checks me. And he's, checking out everything, make sure everything's okay. And he's like, whoa, it looks like you're delivering the sack right now. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And there was a sack. They had to go get a cup and put it in there so they could test it. And like, as that was happening, I did not want to cry. I didn't think I was gonna cry. Like, I felt okay. Like, but when it was happening, tears just started coming down, and I was over here trying to wipe my eyes for anybody saw. But after I was wiping my eyes, it just kept flowing. I'm like, okay, I can't have this. I just gotta let it happen. So I was crying, and of course, my neighbor, she came over to console me, and yeah, it was truly a blessing to have her there. And so after that, he explained, he's like, this is not your fault. These things happen. You have 2 healthy daughters already. You can have another healthy baby. Don't give up on trying. And so that was encouraging because, like, most of them, like, all the experiences that I had, they just slam you with the bad news, and that's that. Have a good day. But he told me what he had to tell me, and he encouraged me, and, was like, I'm sorry that, you had to come see me on these terms. So, that was that. And then after he left out, my neighbor was, there, and She was just trying to help me with the situation and trying to find all the positives about it. Because, you know, everything happens for a reason. And God knows why that happened. We're never going to know why that happened. But God does, and He doesn't put more on you than you can bear. And I believe out of everything that seems bad, well, sometimes it is bad, there's always good that comes from the situation. And that was one thing that Mama Napier told me. And she was telling me, you know, about her experiences and everything, and it helped. You know, it was really good to have somebody there to talk to me and encourage me during that time. So yeah, I'm really grateful to her. Again, if you watching. So yeah, and that's that. And we wanted to tell you guys about this experience because we want you to know you can get through anything with God's help. With God's help. Because, yeah. And everything happens for a reason. God does not put more on you than you can bear. It may seem like it's too much at the time, but once you really give it to God and pray and, you know, try to stay positive, even though, yes, you're going to cry. Yes, it's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. But we got to remember, God's there. And He's going to help you through whatever it may be. And there's always a blessing that comes from, you know, giving it to God and not losing hope and belief in God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever you do, make sure you don't give up on God and don't be bitter towards Him because of things like this. They happen. They're only there to make you stronger, and I can definitely say this has definitely made me stronger. This has definitely, it has changed me in a big way. Like, I think different about things in life. I almost feel like, because this was really hard. You know, I didn't stay down about it. Yes, I cried a few times, but I didn't stay down. I did not stay down about it. And I remember the Sunday after everything happened, I was sitting in church, you know, praise service was going on. And I was just sitting because it kept hitting me. You know what I went through, and what popped in my head was, so you can't praise me and be thankful during this time? Then, so you can only be thankful and praise me during the good? Like, and I thought to myself, like, And I, you know, got up and I started clapping my hands and praising God, and I felt a lot better than what I did when I was just sitting and not, you know, trying not to dwell on it, but it kept coming. But that popped in my head, like, you need to be thankful for what you have already, and thank God no matter what. You know, things are gonna happen in our life, and they're there to better us and make us stronger, or show us something that we didn't know was there. Maybe we need to change how we think about stuff. And in a situation like this, definitely can change that. I'm like, God won't put more on me than I can bear. Everything happens for a reason. God loves me. He wouldn't do anything to hurt me, even though it seems like it's so painful at the time. But like I said, good always comes from situations that seem like you can't get over the hump, or you feel like it's the end of your world. So I got up and I started praising God regardless of my situation. because I know down the road there's a blessing for us. I really believe that. I believe it. So I thank God for his help, and for giving me strength, and keeping me in for keeping me and all that good stuff. There's just so much. It's like so much is coming to my head right now, and just like I'm trying to say it, but if I say too much, it's not gonna really make sense with what I'm talking about. Because God's done so many things, and He's done so many things, and so this situation has definitely made me stronger, and my belief in Him has definitely grew a lot. And I totally believe and I have faith in Him. So I thank God for the experience. I can truly say that. I thank God for the experience, because during this experience I was able to prove to God that I do love Him. I do. And even with the negative thoughts that was coming, I'm like, no, I'm not going to lose my belief in God. I'm not going to lose faith in Him, because I need Him, and I know that He has our back, even though sometimes it feels like why does this have to happen to me? God knows the reason. And when you truly believe in God, you know that He knows what's best for you, and that He will not put more on you than you can bear. So my word to you is to believe with all your heart and give it to God, and believe. I cannot stress that enough. And have faith in Him. He will get you through it. He will, because he's getting me through it, and I'm grateful for that. What words do you have for the people?
Well, first, this is not easy for me. When it first happened, when I got the news, it was tough. I couldn't talk about it. All I could do
For days.
was just listen.
For days.
I could not talk about it. I didn't know how to feel. And in one of our other videos, I say it all the time, but there is something positive in every situation. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear that. I was telling myself that, but I didn't want to hear that. Like, no, no. There's nothing that's good about this situation. That's not true. There's good in every situation. And what I would think about would be, the good in that kind of situation. Oh, well, you lost a baby. That's true. But in that, it made me more grateful for what I have already. I've got two beautiful girls. I have my wife. Like, there's always something to be thankful for. It's not necessarily in every situation there's something to thank God for, about that situation. Like, I can't necessarily say that I thank God for allowing this to happen. I'm not there yet. Yes, I believe everything happens for a reason. And I know his ways are not our ways. And I know that. I used to think that you don't need friends. You don't need anybody. That is not true. You need people who are there for you. Like I said, I couldn't really talk about it. So it's probably, like Shauna said, it was a couple days. I couldn't talk about it. One, I want to say it was probably Tuesday morning or something like that. I was on my way to work, and it all just hit me. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to call my wife like, oh, I'm just going through this, because she already knew. Like, I could not talk to her about it. But a good friend of mine, I called, and it was weird to say. What I told him was, I just need a friend to talk to, like. And I'm over here bawling. And, to have somebody there for you when you're the most vulnerable is a big deal. And yes, you should not put your trust in people. That's true. However, it's important to have those people around you who are there for you. It's more than just, oh man, yeah, I'm there for you. Call me anytime. But every time I call, you don't answer your phone. Or every time I text you, you never text back. Like, I'm terrible at texting back, by the way. But I will. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Like, just because somebody don't text you back don't mean they don't like you. That's not what I mean. But again, if you call somebody and they don't answer and they never call you back or stuff like that, like, people who are really there for you are there for you, and So I started this portion with saying it's important to have people around you.
Yeah,
a support system. And like I said, I literally could not talk to my wife about this. For whatever the reason, it was too hard. And, so I called my guy, and again, I told him, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know how to feel, but saying the words to him that I lost a baby, that was a breakthrough moment for me. And he didn't have to listen. He was at work too. We were both at work. Like, take the time to listen to people. You never know what people are really going through. They don't have to be crying for you to really listen. Listen to what, you never know. You never know what people are really going through. And I could almost guarantee you, some people who will watch this will have no idea that we went through this. Because I also believe just because you're going through something that's tough doesn't mean that you have to broadcast it to the world. This is only for the purpose of magnifying God and saying, when you go through tough times, there is something to be grateful about. And it's not always, oh, God hates me. Oh, this is why I don't believe in God, because he allows crazy stuff to happen. No, everything happens for a reason. even if it's something we don't understand. And this is something that I don't necessarily understand, but it's okay. You know, we gotta get to that point where it's okay that we don't understand.
Because God knows and He understands.
We don't have to understand everything.
We believe Him.
We don't have to know everything.
He knows what's best for you.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I don't know. But again, I didn't think I was actually going to be able to make it through this video. I did not want to do this, by the way. But, and this, you know, this is important in a relationship, in a marriage, to do things for your spouse. Yes, this is helping me too, but I was solely doing this because of Shauna. She wanted to do this, and I didn't. But I know that this would help her. So it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter if I don't want to do this. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, her healing process is important. My healing process is important. But as a husband, as a man, I have to learn how to put those things aside for her. And like I said, it helps me too. I knew it would. But the importance of, just not, just being selfish. Like, a lot of people are selfish, and a lot of people don't make this kind of stuff damages a lot of relationships.
Talk about it.
Yeah, not talking about it. Communication is key. And, no, we didn't birth a child, but it still hurts as if we did.
Right, because I had all the symptoms. I was, everything. I was growing. It was growing, but I just know the baby didn't make it to a certain point, and my body knew, and knew it wasn't normal, whatever, was going on, or why, and got rid of it. Yeah. And, the craziest part to me was when I came home from my second appointment, how immediately after I delivered the sac at the place, I was in so much pain. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. When I got home, I had to change my clothes 2 or 3 times. It was that much blood. And when I would go to the bathroom, I would get frustrated because I'm trying to use the bathroom, TMI, and clots is just falling out and blood. I'm just like, oh my God. And so I would have to clean blood up off the floor and myself and all that. And then the second time, when I went to the bathroom, I was going to pee, and then all of a sudden, something huge felt like it was coming out. And I kid you not, it's a huge clot, maybe the size of a preemie's head, was just sitting there, and then it just came out. I was like, what in the world? Why is there so much clots coming out? I thought the man, the person that I went to see, said that that should have been everything. And I'm looking, when I'm at home, that ain't everything. Because why am I having all these clots coming out? It's ridiculous. I'm like, what in the world? And the pain was so bad. It was when you're going into labor, That's how bad the pain was. And most of the time, I would just have to take deep breaths constantly to deal with it, because when I would take pain pills, it was not helping at all. I'm like, what in the world? So that sucked, that part, because I can remember that part after I had my daughters, dealing with the blood and stuff, but I was fine because I had my bundle of joy in my hands. But this time I just had to have all the symptoms and
it was
everything,
only pain,
but no baby. So that was like, I wish that I would have been more okay if I didn't have to deal with the blood and all of that to remind me of I just lost, a baby. But with the grace of God, I got through it. So, yeah, that part sucked.
Yeah.
That part really sucked.
That was one of the hardest things for me to see. Again, it's different. We got 2 kids. So I know that after you have a child, you bleed and bleed, and we've gone through miscarriages, and you bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed. This one was different.
So much different.
It was rough, but not too rough for us to throw in the towel and they say, "Oh, woe is us." Oh no.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
No, it only made us closer and closer.
Yeah.
To God.
And to each other.
I said it made us closer and closer to God.
No, I didn't hear
that. You said yeah.
I said yeah, and closer to each other.
You said yeah, and then you said and closer to each other.
Yeah, and closer to each other. That's what I just said. Anyway. But, yeah. So, it doesn't, again, this is, it's tough for us. People are going through a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
But, this is something that we made it through. And we didn't make it through, again, it just kind of, I was just reminded. I mentioned earlier about, being there for your spouse. I said it. I could not talk about it, but I could listen. I didn't want to talk about it, but I knew that my wife needed to talk. So I listened. I listened to everything that she said. If I had something to say on that, mainly, I said yes. I gave 1-word answers.
Yeah.
She would ask me, well, how do you feel? I don't know. I can't talk about it. Those 3 things, that's what I said. I said, I answered questions, yes or no. And I said, I can't talk about it. But I was there for her because she needed me. I didn't know what I needed.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he was
I
lost.
had no idea what I needed.
He was truly lost. I was just wow, and this hit home because he.
Yeah, I'm always open about my feelings. Always. I've always been open about it.
Not about this.
No, this was rough for me. But we made it through it. It still hurts every now and again.
It's going to, but at least we always have that memory to hold on to and look back and be like, wow, we got through that with the help of God. And the crazy thing is, maybe that night, I was able to laugh and have a good time. And Robert, he was able to laugh and stuff when we just couldn't talk about, what was going on. And then the day after that, yes, it was still tough and hard. Because, when I would wake up in the morning, I just feel out. It would just hit me. I'm like, oh, I'm not pregnant anymore. And, I'll have to pick myself up out of that. Because I'm like, no, I'm about to go. And I'm about to go through all that and be thinking about all that. And here I go, being all sad again. I'm like, nope, can't do it. But we were still able to, be happy. We laughed, we played. Like, thinking about it, it's crazy that we was doing all that. Still having a good time and stuff. Because we knew, even through our pain, and even through the fact that we didn't understand why this happened, we knew God had us, and, there's a blessing down the road for us. Even though sometimes you're like, I don't care. I wanted this. Sometimes your mind goes there, but again, it happened. There's nothing that we can do to change it. So we just have to accept that it happened and, believe that God knows what he's doing. It was in his plan, it happened. And down the road, I truly believe there's a blessing for us when it's time. We will have it. So
yeah, I'm just thankful and grateful to have someone by my side like this one here.
Me.
For anyone that watches this video that is single, you want somebody who believes. If you are a believer, I'll put it this way. If you believe in God, if you are a Christian, you want someone with Christian values. Because that's just one more thing that you will have to worry about, that you will have to fight about. Being like-minded. I can't really speak on, not believing, because, we're believers. So,
yeah.
I haven't always been, though. That's number one.
I haven't always been.
But that's beside the point. My point is, having someone who cares so much about everybody else, is a good thing. And to see somebody go through something like that is tough. I don't know where I was going. I was going somewhere, but I don't remember. I can talk about how great my wife is, but I will not this time. But I'm reminded of a song by a lady, Katy Perry.
I thought you was going to say somebody. I was like in the church. He said, like Lady Katy Perry. I'm done.
What doesn't kill you? Oh, no, that's Kelly Clarkson.
So you get it right.
Elect Lady Kelly Clarkson, sorry. Elect minstrel. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
So yeah, no, or is it even me, myself, and that is not. I gotta look at the lyrics.
But she does say something about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah. So in this instance, it is okay to just take snippets of, take things out of context, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's true by itself. It doesn't matter what she's talking about after that. I think the name of the song is Me, Myself, and I. What What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. That part does not. Well, no, it's not. It doesn't really apply to this.
No.
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 What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over because you're gone. Again, that part does not apply. So only use what applies to this situation.
Yeah, the stronger part.
I mean,
I
stand a little
right.
taller doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm
okay.
So this is a breakup song if nobody knew that. But I'm sure someone did. The song is also called Stronger, not Katy Perry, Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.
I thought it was thought it was Katy Perry too, but it is not.
I just got that stuck in my head.
Yeah, you knew it was Kelly Clarkson. But
yeah.
So
yes. So when you see this video, we're not looking for no sympathy at all. None. Uno, dos. None, for real, but seriously, none. I wanted to make this video truly to help somebody out there that has been through this or maybe going through it now. Or you can look at this and know that whatever you may be going through, you can get through it too.
yeah, it's not the end of the world.
No.
It's not. Not even a little bit.
Right. Not even close.
Nah, man.
So, keep your heads up. Pray. Believe in God. Don't give up. God loves you.
And so
and I
do
love
I.
you. But for real, we love you.
Yeah, no, for real.
So, thanks for watching. Make sure you leave any video ideas that you would like to see down in the comments below. Because how else will we know what you guys want to see? Or maybe you don't want to see us at all. But
and if you feel so inclined, please like and subscribe.
Please,
and as the people say, also click the notification button for when we do new videos. You get the notification.
Yeah, so you can click on that booger.
It's a bell,
right away.
not a booger.
Don't be good. Anywho.
Yes, now that all
Thanks.
the serious stuff is gone away, we can be silly. But this part doesn't have to go on the video.
No.
So
thank you for watching. Love you guys. Bye. See you next time.